So within 10 seconds, we will go live.
Okay. Others, please keep your mic mute. When you talk, you can unmute.
So it's 3, 2, 1. We are live to the audience. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Live Pharma Coalition, a global knowledge and networking platform. As you know, in Live Pharma Coalition, we invite industry experts to talk about current challenges and opportunities across all the pharmaceuticals. Experts from manufacturing, packaging, sales and marketing, HR, L&D, and academics. And today's episode is 142nd episode of Live Pharma Coalition. And in today's episode, we are going to share a very important component of pharmaceutical sales and marketing, that is in-clinic communication. You all will be agreeing with me that in-clinic communication is one of the very important aspects in a pharma sales executive's profession. This talks about how the professional will do the pre-work inside the doctor's clinic, how he will open the call. He will start the call with understanding the hidden need of the professionals and then provide solution according to the need and closing techniques. So to discuss in-clinic, not only that, the body language of pharmaceutical professional is very, very important. So to discuss with that, we have one eminent panel. I would like to introduce today's speaker and panelist, Purnima Kanunji ma'am. She is a core team member of Live Pharma Coalition. She is a mindfulness communication specialist, having 16 years of experience in pharmaceuticals, and she helps sales professionals build great client communication. Not only that, her interest in human behavioral science, especially communication skill. So Purnima ma'am, thank you very much for joining today's show. Please give an overview of your idea about in-clinic communication. Purnima ma'am.
Thank you so much, Yashwanji, for such a wonderful introduction. And as you mentioned, I'm a big fan of human behavioral science and particularly a hardcore fan of communication and in relation to the professional or the organizational setup. Communication is an extremely important skill and a tool that every professional, irrespective of your designation or an industry, you must master so that you become successful. And particularly when it comes to pharma, we come from a highly specialized industry, and sales in pharma is far more refined and evolved. So we are not selling an FMCG product, and we are not selling chota mota, I would say, sabun nahi bech rahe hum. We sell specialized products. So when we are doing a special sale, of course, our skills have to be special. So does communication. We are discussing science. We are discussing medicines with doctors who are already an expert. So we have to be at par. We may not be as same as them in the knowledge domain, but can we be, knowledgeable enough so that we can strike a conversation, we can sit and discuss our therapy or the domain areas as it goes. Now, when it comes to body language, this is an extremely crucial part of communication. As Albert Mehrabian says, it's almost 75 to 80% of communication belongs to non-verbal segment, and the rest, which is a minuscule, belongs to word, or rather your spoken communication. So body language is something that you can actually work and hone. And at the same time, it is a very, very intimate and an integral part of you. Not everything can be, crafted. There is something, a natural element, so which stays with you. So you have to identify that natural element and how you're going to use it to your advantage. That's one angle of looking at it. The next angle is, in case you feel you have a concern area, or I would say maybe some habits or some behaviors which are not aligning with your work. First is identify them. Next is, can I work and take it to the next level? So for me, everything begins with myself. So does my presentation or my talk is going to be, what is my body language, understanding how and how do I look and feel to others. Next is understanding your concern areas. I call it leaking. What are you leaking? Are you leaking lack of confidence? Are you leaking arrogance? Or are you sometimes leaking overconfidence, which can also hamper your sales or your interaction with your clients? Next is, how am I reading my client's body language? Am I reading it right? Am I even reading it, first of all? And interpreting. And how do I tweak? So the master level comes when I read and I see something. How do I tweak my communication style so that I am still able to achieve desired results? So this is going to be a little touch points on these 4 topics that I would be covering in my
Thank
talk.
you, ma'am. Thank
And
you.
over to
Definitely.
you.
We look forward to learn from you. It is always a treat to listen to you and your insights. And along with Purnima ma'am, we have Mr. Manoj Kadam, National Sales Manager, RX Laboratories. And Mr. Manoj Kadam is having 15 years of experience in pharmaceutical in various roles. He hails from Nagpur, and apart from RX Laboratory, he has also worked in elder pharmaceuticals. So Mr. Manoj, thank you very much for accepting our invite to be a part of LPC. Please give an overview of your thought on this topic, Mr. Manoj.
Thank you, LPC and Yashwant sir, for giving me this opportunity. Of course, thank you for your brief in the introduction also. And of course, communication is key to success always, whether it's industry, our industry, or any other industry. 80% work will be done by your communication only. The rest is just formalities. Whether you are getting your client means for any orders or anything, whether it's a doctor or any industry also. Communication is always and played an important role. Of course, just Purnima madam said also that there are body language also comes in that communication, under communication also. But yes, communication, it's a key where you have to express yourself. Your communication should be good. For that matter, for that communication also, you have to be very thorough in your subject, and you have to learn all the things with this communication. And of course, in clinic effectiveness or in clinic communication, you have just that 2 minutes, and in that 2 minutes you have to communicate all the things. Maybe time varies doctor to doctor chamber. Whether your communication is good, you can take 15 minutes also. You can buy doctors 15 minutes also, 15 minutes. And within 2 minutes also, you can communicate your whatever your agenda is there by marketing your products and all those things. But yes, that needs a thorough. You should be thorough in your all the subjects. Then only you can communicate well. And of course, body language is one part where communication, body language, if it is 100%, then your job is done. 100% your job is done. And that's why communication has its role in any industry, and in pharma industry, it's very, because we are meeting doctors which are highly knowledgeable and professional also. And of course, knowledge is the part where doctors are superior than us. But yes, with communication, we can communicate various things. Like we share informations regarding our drugs, regarding our products. So we are very lucky actually and fortunate enough that we are meeting such elegant customers which are highly knowledgeable also, and they have big degrees. And of course, that is the part where we are means far ahead in any industry, you can say. That's why communication in clinic effectiveness and in clinic communication is very important. So that within two minutes, sometimes doctors also, they have a busy schedule. They don't they start doing something. If you are entering in chamber, they will start doing some of the other whatever they have a work. But if your communication is good, then your voice reaching to their ear, and they will listen. If your communication is good, they will look at you, they will give you all the time, and then only you can get your job done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for insight, Mr. Manoj. We look forward to learn from you. And with Mr. Manoj, we have Mr. Sudeep Bhaumik, He is the Zonal Sales Manager in RPPL, Reno Care Pharmaceutical Limited. And Sudeep is having 15 years of experience. So Sudeep, welcome to LPC. A brief overview of your opinion about the topic. Sudeep.
Thank you, Dashwant sir, for inviting me and giving the opportunity, because as we have, I am the one of the prime member, means from the very beginning, I am with the LPC. And what is our motto? That life never stop teaching. So we also should not stop learning. So it's a great learning platform for us. And today's topic is the communications or in-clinic performance and or in-clinic body language in the doctor's front, which is a very, very important topic. I am very much happy to be a part of the LPC today. And as Punya Madam was telling, that body language, voice tonality. So as per the study, it has been observed 70% of the mistake is in the workplace is directly result to the poor communications. And communication is the king of all skills. We are all, every hour, every minute we are talking, we are having the self-talks out of our thoughts. And all the great leaders should have the great communications. And it has a study confirmed that 55% is visual, the what body language we are going to present. And 38% is the voice or tonality, what we are going to present, in which tonality you are talking, that is vocal. And verbal is 7%, what is the content. So irrespective of the content, the body language, what matters, scores so much. So on that, we are going to gain more knowledge from Punya Madam, and we'll have a panel discussions today. So I'm very happy to be a part of this today's session. Thank you. Over to Jashwant sir.
Thank you very much, Sudeep. Thank you very much for giving insight. We look forward to learn from you. And along with Sudeep, we also have Mr. Nasuddin Chisti, who is also a core team member of Life Pharma Coalition. He is always supporting in virtual session, as well as he is a regular attender of our conclave. And currently, Nasuddin is a zonal sales manager in MedArc Healthcare. He deals with urology specialty, and he believes that domain knowledge is very, very important when it comes to in-clinic communication. So, Nasuddin, welcome to Life Pharma Coalition. A brief overview about the topic, Nasuddin.
Yeah, good evening, all of you. It's an always a privilege to share dais with all you people. So, in clinic effectiveness and in clinic communication, you all must be agreed that we get only 2 minutes. In that 2 minutes, we need to be very much effective, and we should have some impact on doctors. And it should, in returns, it should in return terms, it should gain a productivity. There are always KPIs, key performance indicators. Whenever we enter field or we start the field work, we need to identify those key performance indicators, and we have to utilize those key performance indicators for our best to increase our productivity. While in coming session, we are going to much more look on which are the key performance indicators, need of domain, why it is important to know doctor's language. We should speak in doctor's language, like we should have a thorough knowledge of how much years are required to become a doctor, which are the website he use, what are the books he refers, so that a healthy communication can be done within doctor's chamber whenever we find opportunity to interact beyond our products. So we should have a thorough knowledge of his requirements particularly. So we will be likable, and there are chances that we can do much more effective communication with him. Thank you from me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nasiruddin. So we look forward to learn from you. So all the viewers, we request you to keep on sharing your view also on in-clinic communication, and also your questions in chat box, so that we'll have an interactive learning. And with that, I hand over session to Purnima ma'am, and she is going to talk about the most important part of in-clinic communication, that is body language. The non-verbal communication part plays a very important role in in-clinic communication. So ma'am is going to share us about the insight on body language. Purnima ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much once again, Yashwant sir. can I request the Imagica team to roll out the link that I have shared? So I'm going to be sharing a small questionnaire to the audience. I would request whoever is watching this or maybe would be watching it even later, please take time out. It's just a very small one-pager questionnaire. The idea is to know what is, your understanding of body language, and at the same time, do you also identify your strength and the, concern areas, not only of yourself, but also of the client. And please be rest assured that this information is going to be kept confidential and it is only going to be used for training purposes. So I sincerely request the audience to please go ahead, click the link, and just quickly, it's not going to take more than a minute. So with this, I would like to begin my presentation. So first of all, body language is a huge topic. For that matter, body language in a 2-minute sales call is again a huge topic to discuss. 10 to 15 minutes to 20 minutes, we are not going to be able to cover the entire topic. But yes, we are going to be, or rather, I'm going to be speaking on very crucial few elements that we should keep in mind. So let's start off with the understanding of effective in-clinic communication. Okay, so when we say effective, so the word effective actually comes from a Latin word called effectivus, which means being creative or productive. From the dictionary words, it also means ability or to be successful and produce an intended result. Another definition which also states that it is a degree to which something is successful in producing a desired result. Please understand, effectiveness is not one point result. It's a range that we talk of. What is effective for me may not be effective. So the same skill, the same style may not work with another client. So I have to tweak every single call, every single client that I meet, I have to tweak. It could be a doctor, it could be a retailer, it could be, a wholesaler, wherever I go. So everybody is a client. But of course, this particular session is specific to in-clinic. So that's where the rest of the conversation or discussion is going to be limited. So after we have understood the word effectiveness or the understanding of effective in clinic, this again is a specialized word or a specialized scene, I would say. We are sitting across a professional who is highly or much more qualified than us. Number one, they share a certain status in the society. Okay, they are doctors. At the same time, they are also human beings just like you and me. So they also go through a lot of stress during the daytime. Maybe it is a clinic pressure, maybe it is something personal. They may also have a poor sales day, as most of us would also experience. So they may not be hitting their own targets. So there is a lot of things that going on. So once we understand that they are professional, next crucial, extremely crucial to understand that they are humans also. So we have to, according to me, first connect human to human. That's where your body language or interpretation and understanding of body language comes in. Now, after you have understood, it is very, very important to understand that all of us, including our doctors, are unique in our own little ways. We have our own style of expressing. We have our own unique style of using body language. And that is your strength. Somebody else, suppose if I wish to speak like Simon Sinek, or I wish to, be as good as Robin Sharma, or maybe Dory Clark, who's the #1 communication coach in the world. I can only look and I can imitate. Can I be that person? No. Can I improve myself? Yes, very much you can. But for that, you need to identify first where I am standing now, next where I need to go. So when it comes to what is my body language, am I observant enough? Have I read myself enough to understand what I look and feel like to my customers? So what is it that you can observe? You can observe your body gesture, your body movement, the way you walk, the way you sit. You can observe your tonality. What is my tone? You can observe your emotions. So when I'm happy, what do I sound like? What do I look like? When I am sad, what do I look like? What does my voice sound? And at the same time, when I am angry, frustrated, when I'm experiencing those negative emotions, what happens to me? What gets into me? And how do I behave? Mind my words or mark my words. You may not be able to understand your facial expression because that's for somebody else to see. You cannot, until unless you are doing it in front of the mirror, looking at yourself, then only you could understand, oh, this is how I look like. But most of the time it is left to the person who's listening to you or who is sitting across. So extremely important. So once you have understood your own body language, can you go ahead in terms of understanding what the others look like? So if I'm happy, this is how I look. At the same time, if somebody else is happy, how are they expressing? What is their body language? Maybe somebody would be, throwing hands and must be jumping, and somebody would be just so subtle that for them just smile is enough. So both are correct. So there's nothing right and wrong. So you have to accept that. Okay. Next element after you have observed yourself is, what are concern areas? What is it that I need to keep a watch so that I am not giving wrong signals or I am not giving conflicting signals? Mark my words, conflicting. Okay. So I would say, am I leaking? This is a question you should ask. So I'm a big fan of questions. You would, in whatever talk or presentations I do, you would come across a lot of questioning that I do. So you have to ask yourself, am I leaking? Am I leaking lack of confidence? Am I leaking arrogance? Or am I leaking overconfidence? Mind you, all three are killers. They will kill your client, they'll kill your sales. In case you feel that at this moment, I am feeling less confident, आप उसको कितना भी छुपाने की कोशिश करो, आप उसको छुपा नहीं सकते. Even your smile will give away. कि आपकी smile में, you will not have that openness. It will be one of those half-hearted smile. And it takes very little to pick on these. Your customer, including your boss or people around you, for that matter, even children in your house, they look at you and they know, aaj mood kharab hai. Aaj we have to stay away. So imagine your customer. They pick each and everything. So you have to apply, I would say, an end seal to your leakage. What are you going to do so that you stop or do not conflict your own self? Okay, you have to be extremely mindful of your thoughts. See, your thoughts get translated to your behavior. If you are sitting outside a clinic, a doctor whom you are not so comfortable with, वो good होना शुरू से ही हो जाता है. Even you have not entered the cabin, you are sitting there in the waiting areas and you are like, oh God, I've got to do this. Oh God, I have to do this. मुझे ये बोलना है, मुझे वो बोलना है, ये नहीं बोलना, मुझे detailing aid नहीं निकालना. We get into that. There's a lot of drama that goes in your head. You have to be extremely cautious and careful there, because the way your mind is, and if you enter the clinic with the same mind, the same ruffleness in your head, that's how you're going to be performing there. So that level of maturity, emotional maturity, and being so aware that, okay, I am not feeling confident. What can I do to first calm myself down? Next is the next step is what best I can do in this moment. Okay. The idea is not to jaake bhagna nahi hai. Most of us, I have done that. There were customers with me, whom I was like shit scared. I just don't want to see. But I had to do because they were important doctors on the list. What best can you do in the moment so that you become a good experience for the doctor? Okay, when we are feared or fearful, हम ये सोचते कि ये हमें क्या कर देगा? Is he going to insult me? Is he going to put me down? Those thoughts run in our mind. What if he shouts at me? Usme we go in a shell, defensive mode. We are not supposed to attack there. but can we arrive at a neutral space in our head where we can sit and still strike a conversation? So that's a high level of emotional intelligence. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens with practice, but definitely it is doable. Next, after I've understood my body language, I've understood my concern areas, I can go to the customer, to the doctors, and understand. So, so when we are sitting across the table, so at times, we are standing and calling, maybe standing in the clinic or in the parking lots. I mean, COVID has given us, हमारा वो बोलते हैं workspace area बहुत बढ़ गया है. We could be in the parking lot, we could be in the basement, we can be anywhere. Outside the gate of the hospital and the doctor is sitting in the cabin. I've seen that happen over a camera. So anything can be. But there, even in that small little frame, even this little frame of, the web thing that we are doing now, how do I read people's body language? Am I confident enough to understand first and then interpret? If a doctor is smiling in subtle or in a certain way, am I reading it right? Is it really happy? Or is that a sarcastic smile? Or is that somebody who's like, "Arey, ye fir se aa gaya." That kind of a body language. How is he sitting? How is his posture? Is he fidgeting with his hands? I've seen doctors fidget with the paperweights, or they would shuffle pages, or they would just pick things and throw on the other side. Yeah, if they would be busy writing, talking to somebody else. So they pretend they are listening to you. Ha, tum bolo, main sun raha hu, but they're busy doing something else. So in that moment, you have to understand, is this the right time to discuss what I have come here to discuss? Can I do something? Can I say something that I get full 100% attention, even if it is for that 20 seconds of the time? So that interpretation comes only after I have understood. अगर डॉक्टर बिजी है, अपने ही उसमें काम में चल रहा है, उनका अपने ही एक्टिविटी चल रही है, and you continue your rattle. Sorry, I may be using certain words, but these are extremely important to drive points. So I am not, in case if anybody feels offensive, I'm really sorry, but let's understand this is to get the point through and not any personal remark to anybody. So in case you continue your rattle, आप बड़बड़ कर रहे हो, मेरे को तो 4 प्रोडक्ट बोलने हैं, मैंने बोल देना है, मेरे को ये सैंपल देने, मैंने दे देना है. I have a medical literature, I just have to leave it or give it there and present. That's it. Are you really being effective? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. Is this the right way of doing it? Is it going to give me the desired result? That's where it becomes extremely crucial to interpret it the right way. What can you interpret is a huge topic. The way they look at you, the eye contact, the facial expressions, the posture, the way they are sitting, whether they are sitting, cross-legged, or whether they are slouching on the chair, or if they are busy near the patient table doing something, or just washing hands in the wash basin and not really paying attention to you. Are they back facing you? How are they standing? How is the walk? In case if you're walking with the doctor and talking, is the walk brisk? Is the walk fast enough so that, he doesn't want to listen to you, but he's hurrying up somewhere? So these are the scenarios that you need to pay attention. And first, ask yourself, is this the right time to discuss what I have to discuss? Am I getting the desired and the much required attention? Next, what can I do to be effective? So we are dealing with humans. Everybody has their own challenges. Everybody has their own, do's, don'ts, as we say, or maybe understand we are not the priority for doctors. Doctors not sitting in the clinic for us. We are like an adjuvant, by the way, okay. For him, the priority is the patient. For him, the priority is his client. So you have to make his client your priority. If there are patients, or maybe, I would maybe end of the session, I would share one small incident that happened with me, and maybe, that could drive a point. So next, what do I say? Yeah. So you have to understand on yourself, if a doctor is appearing busy, or a doctor is giving me a signal that maybe this is not the right time. What is it that I can do to grab that attention, grab that point, if that is so crucial that I have to do it now. Or next thought, can I ask for time? Okay, today you seems to be busy, or maybe it is not the right time. I have something important to discuss. I have something important to share, or maybe I need your attention. Can we ask the time? How many times we do this? Point that I really want to drive through. Then, in your own body language, facial expressions, the way I sit, the way I carry myself, your energy are driven by your thoughts. So if you are all excited, all raring to go, I am going to launch this product to this doctor today, and I'm going to be taking 10 prescriptions in one day or something. You're all bubbly, excited. You enter the clinic and doctor is sitting, sullen face, tired, exhausted. Maybe he's had a bad day, a full clinic, or simply he's not keeping well. What do I do? How do I maybe pep up that doctor, bring him up to my energy level, or alternate? When can I see that, ask for time or ask for attention? So maybe you could do it subtly. Tone of voice is the best thing. You don't have to raise, but can I sound pleasant? Can I sound interested? Can I sound interesting, which is extremely crucial. We use words very, very lamely. Oh, doctor, I have something interesting to share. And all you have is another reminder, just another reminder. That's not interesting. When you use words, you have to make sure that you deliver, particularly interesting. So if you're generating interest, ensure that it is interesting. It is not only interesting to you, of course, it is more interesting to your client. Unke benefit ki ya unke interest ki cheez hai. That's where your domain knowledge or your therapy knowledge comes into picture. How interesting you make the conversation, how interesting you make that interaction. So with this, I think I'm through with this small little talk, and I would want to end this with a quote. Your body communicates as well as your mouth. Just ensure that you don't contradict yourself. This quote was by Alan Radok, and with this, over to you, Ashwinji.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for insightful details about body language in communication. You touched upon a very important aspect of body language, particularly facial expression and energy level, which will definitely radiate the energy with the healthcare professionals also. Thank you very much. Many of the people who are watching live have appreciated the things. They have told very much rightly that Rajat Saha also has shared that MR can't interpret the body language today. And Rajat is an opinion that most of the company nowadays, they are giving training on selling a skill, but no company, no pharma company is giving training on body language, which is very, very important. Apart from this, Mr. Biraj Pawar also appreciated your session. Mr. Rohit Velankar, Arumugam Arasan, Suleiman Mudliar, Surendra Pratap Yadav. Thank you very much, everyone, for your appreciation and comment. Thank you very much. We'll take questions definitely later on. And with that, I go to Mr. Manoj Kadam on what are the different components of detailing. Mr. Manoj, you will agree with me that detailing is one of the very important aspects of a pharmaceutical sales executive, right? Detailing stands for the D factor, and the D factor is dramatization, D factor is discussion, D factor is dialogue, D factor is discuss. So what demonstration? So what is your opinion about detailing, Mr. Manoj?
Yeah, Yashwant sir, thank you. As you said, detailing is whatever D stands for, you have elaborated with discussion, dialogue, and all these things. But of course, in pharma industry, at least detailing is the most important factor of your job. If you know detailing, then you can win the battle. Half battle is won by your detailing only. Rest other things will be followed by them. And of course, detailing is not, there are a lot of parameters where detailing is measured. Actually, that is your text, how you are thorough in your text, then your voice modulation, your eye-to-eye contact, Whatever pointer you use, that should be on that topic only, whatever you are detailing. Then your voice modulation, I said eye to eye contact also, as it's very important while detailing. Your opening of a call is very important, your closing call is very important. These are the parameters where detailing plays very important role. Even your appearance, while means your attire, your body language, like Purnima madam said, and of course your smiling face should be there, because you don't know while entering chamber doctor is in which means doctor's mood is good or not. He is in busy, is in some busy in his task, or his mood is not good. Then you have to buy that time, because many a times you will see, if you are going to launch a new product, then you have to buy a time. Otherwise in that hurry, doctor is in hurry and you are launching a product, you cannot get attention from doctor. So that is also a part of detailing there. And of course detailing, as I said, that pointer should be used. Your product knowledge should be very good, because without product knowledge you cannot detail your product. So that is also an important part, and that training has been given. A lot of pharma companies given that training also. So detailing is detailing your product knowledge should be thorough. Then only you have that confidence to detail that product. If any question asked by a doctor, then you will be confident to reply it. So that's why product knowledge is a very important. And of course in detailing, if you are detailing and your this text is very through, then you can do many things while detail. You can keep your eye to eye contact also with doctors. You can look some or the other things also, the doctors liking dislikings, while this seeing that in chamber, what doctors likes, because you come to know with that doctor profile also, how doctor plays his things, how he's organized, and how he plays an important role. So, and so what I said, that your text should be thorough means by heart. If your text is by heart, then you can detail brand without looking at your folder, without looking. And of course, holding that folder is also very important while detailing. Some people keep it on doctor's table. Some people keep it means their angle is very different. They do not keep on this angle to doctors. They keep themselves also, that they should listen, and they should see that the text also, if your text is not through them. So that's why. And pointer also, of course, and there are some studies also mentioned in the detailing, that should be also detailed properly. Then only doctor will get interest. And there is a saying, Jashwant sir, always in pharma, that every doctor doesn't listen detailing, but every doctor listen good detailing. That is the farm. If your flow is good, doctor will not interpret in between, or he will not stop you. If your detailing is not thorough, if you are fumbling, then of course doctor will say, I know, don't detail, I know everything, just give me a product name and content also. So that is the magic of detailing. If you are detailing through, you will get enough time to discuss. Maybe that call may last for a 15 minutes also, and that discussion may last for 15 minutes also, if your product knowledge and detailing is through only. So that are the components where you have to look at. And of course, opening of a call, there are punchline also. That voice modulation should be good in that punchline. Which line we have to give a stress, so that doctor should link, and that your brand will be registered with that punchline also. That is very important. That's why detailing is what I said, that detailing is very important, because this per punchline, there are some certain lines where you have to keep on taking attention of doctors also. That will register that brand with that punchline, and of course the details of that brand also. Of course, opening of a call is very important. Like I say, attire should be good. Your smiling face should be there, so that that doctor will listen to you. If he is busy, if he's busy or his mood is not good, but you can bring that his mood can be, with your detailing or your communication will, of course, bring that attention to your detailing with doctors. If your brand is concept selling, then you have to sell that concept. It's not like just you are selling one antibiotic, then doctor will not listen because he knows what is antibiotic and what are the benefits of that. But your brand is concept selling, then you have to detail all the ingredients of that brand. You should know what are the concentration, what are the highlights of that content, so that you can highlight also and that content, so that doctor will listen and it will be interesting also. That detailing will be interesting. Uh, while keeping this your inputs or LBL, but detailing is not just for limited for a visual aid. You can detail LBL. You can detail scientific LBLs also with doctors. New studies came. If there is a study in that LBL, you can detail that also. You can detail that LBL, and you can have that good call, good detailing, and you can bring that with that LBL. You can bring attention of doctor to prescribe, or you can connect your brand with this detailing with that LBL also. That is also most important. And of course, pronunciation like this detailing has a very medical terms. That terminology should be thorough. You should use that terminology so that doctor will also feel that you know something about this profession. Otherwise, see, detailing should be in that language only where it is designed. Most of them means every time detailing is in English only. But sometimes people feel that I'm very much free with this language or Hindi or local language, and they start detailing with that. But that doesn't look good actually. Your medical terminologies would be good, should be good, so that and if your background is science, then you come to know means you grasp that things very easily. Otherwise, nowadays we have seen arts and commerce students also they are in field, so they have that certain means difficulties while communicating these things and learning these things. So that is also one important task. Demand should be there, like closing and opening call should be there. So with detailing, you can all correlate these things, and you can help them to generate a prescription with your detailing.
Thank you very much. Excellent. You have covered each and every point of detailing, Mr. Manoj, right from pre-call planning, how to open a call, then understanding doctor's need through probing technique, then the main body of detailing, that is use of pointer, holding the visual aid rightly, eye contact, pronunciation of medical terminology, synchronization from one brand to other brand, synchronization from one page to other page, and then handling doctor's objection, assertive demand, and closing. So that is wonderful to hear from you. All the aspect. Not only that, you also touched upon a point. Many a time company provides you medical inputs like literatures, reference print, original articles, journals. So instead of giving those medical aspect, our pharma sales executives should be able to highlight the key point and also connect how this medical journal or reference print or article or clinical trial is linked with his brand. That is what they should do. So it will create his image as a scientific partner inside the clinic. Thank you very much. And now I'll go to Mr. Sudeep Bhaumik. As Mr. Manoj told, one of the very important aspects of detailing is probing technique. And that is nothing but how to ask question to doctor. Asking question to understand the need and asking question to create the need for your product. So what is your opinion about probing technique, Mr. Sudeep? Sudeep, unmute your mic.
Yes. Yeah, this probing is an art. Probing is a skill. And for probing, a person should be assertive, not submissive, as well as not aggressive. Many times we have seen the aggressive people, they may win the argument, but lose the prescription. So it is a skill with a back of full of knowledge and curiosity to know the doctor's understanding. It is one way or other I can tell when we go to the hotels, the waiter will come and ask that, sir, you want to have a tomato soup or you want to have veg corn soup? So make the things happen, because many times when we go to the hotel, we are very much confused what to take first, how to start it, which soup we want to have, or we will go to the direct food or not. So that time, this waiter, when he comes and probe us, no, sir, either you like this or that. So we'll have a clarity. We feel happy that we can have an answer as per our choice. So probing can be related like the way soup questions. See, a probing is a question. It is like an electric shock to the brain. Any question, what is the open-ended, especially open-ended questions, it is like an electric shock to the brain. And as soon as you hear a question, you feel that to compel to answer it. So now how you questions, that matters a lot. Again, the body language comes here, a vital point. You should be absolutely sober and you should be very curious in asking the question. And the benefit of asking the question, as we all know, that to understand the customer's needs, to get more time inside the doctor's chamber. Even many doctors are willing to give only 1 minute or 2 minutes, if not 3 or 4 minutes. But if we start probing, I have seen in my professional career, the doctor sometimes give half an hour also, with the if the point is interest. To isolate the objections, that is another benefit of the picking the questions. To arouse interest in the doctor's mind, okay, and to confirm that whether he is really want that product or molecule or not. To involve our customers in a interaction mode, to learn from the customers, because many things we still learn from the customer as they having the huge knowledge, and to build a rapport. So that is the main thing what I felt that this probing can help us. And more so when we are having these questions. In fact, doctor also, when I have interacted with many of the KOL doctor, key opinion leader, they also suggested we respect those pharma sales executives who ask questions, because only those dare to ask questions who are thorough with the therapy product knowledge. They also confirm that people who ask questions, we also feel ourselves refreshed, that to give the answer and to have an interaction with the newer molecule and newer technologies what the companies are coming out with for our better treatment protocol. But yes, question should be logical and relevant and should be asked with a lot of respect, because it does not mean that we just nam ke vaste will go and ask the question. So no one will feel happy. Some of the KOL doctor, when I have visited, they have told, when I have interactions, the pharma executive interest me, show the interest and arouse the interest in me, I will spend more time with him. And we have seen many cases that most the busiest doctors also spend a lot of good time. So first of all, he should have a knowledge of the product and he should have a must know how to communicate it. As today we are the perfect session we are going on with all the body language and how we do the in-clinic performance. So many of the KOL doctors also told key opinion leaders that I want the pharma executive to look professional and to be knowledgeable about their own product and to share with us. Now the question is, many of our business executives are feared. Why they don't ask the questions? Abhi Punya madam bol raha tha, ratta maar ke aa ja raha hai, rattling the and coming out 3-4 products telling. See, one thing is very important. Telling is not selling. Asking question is only selling. Why? Because now why we are not asking question? Because one reason is fear, a phobia. But where the doctor will get irritated, or if the doctor asks some more question to me, I will be flat. So these are the main problem. The people are not asking the question. But here I want to give some tips on probing. Be polite and do not afraid into the doctors, because as Punyaman is telling, the doctor also human being, first of all. And prepare your question in advance. If I prepare my question in advance, so it will be more have a lubricant. I can have a more clarity in my questioning. Try to keep the question brief and to the point. And if the doctor feel is not comfortable with the question, we should skip and come to the, again, other objectives. Show the intention of learning from the doctors and maintain a logical sequence of questions. And more so, after asking the questions, we should give the time, we should give the doctor the time, and we should not itself repeat the question or answer the question. सब जानता है हम, अब हमसे सुनिए. ऐसा नहीं है, डॉक्टर से भी सुनना है. So these are the things, if we follow this, then I felt that probing of the was one of the best way to get the things done, to get the more clarity, and to, because after all, our need is to generate the prescriptions. To generate the prescriptions, doctors' clarity, understanding for the products, liking for the products, and needful use of the product is very much important. As Mr. Manoj was talking about this detailing, so I want to add with that, that framing of questions, it should be a pre-work flow chart of the questions for better control on the dialogue. Without preparation, nothing will happen. And frame your questions to lead the dialogue to an objective. So there should be an objective purpose, and begin with the end objective in mind. What is my ultimate objective? Suppose I am giving an example that now minoxidil decanostrels, it has been came in a tablet form, in powder form, and now in soft gel capsule form. So to know the doctor's interest, if I ask, madam, if you do you feel to use the tablet form or powder form or soft gel capsule form? Maybe doctors are using powder form because of his some benefits. But if I can show with my references from expert opinion references, the soft gel capsules gives more 3 times or 4 times better viability, the doctors will get definitely convinced. So with the references, with the testimonials, if I can show the doctors and discuss, they'll be and have a better output. And keep a logical sequence of the questions, which is very much important. And as Mr. Manoj has already told, that protocol planning is so much required. Proactiveness is so much required out of survey than the postmortem after the calls. So the more we do the pre-call planning before the chamber, before entering the chamber, we can add the value-added selling to the doctors. And opening should be very good. And I want to highlight one more thing, that is ice breaking. Something we have to talk which our doctors have an interest. Because if we can take the doctors in our fold with some of his interested point, the doctor will definitely spend more time with us. And probing is one of the greatest thing, as I've already discussed and given the tips, what I feel personally and professionally. Fabbing is one of the most another important thing we should discuss, that is the features of the products, advantage of the products, and benefit. Because nowadays, no one is much bothered for about the even features also. They only bother about the benefits. What is the advantage and what is the benefits we are going to have. And objection and handling, definitely when the doctor will ask the questions, we have to have the patience and give the answer properly. So objection handling also a part of our in-clinic performance. And during probing, it is obvious it will come. The doctor also may ask some questions. We should we should keep patience, and logically we should answer the questions for the better outcome. And last of all, the demand of the close. Because after all, the results is more important. The prescription is more important. The sales is more important. So many small job we want to do because to get the prescriptions and sales. So that is what I felt about probing. I just shared with you. Over to Jashwant sir.
Thank you very much, Sudeep. Thank you very much. You have given a very good overview of probing technique, all the steps involved, and why we should do probing. You rightly said that probing will create a platform where you can understand doctor's need and also create need for your product. And you also talked about probing is going to give you more time inside the clinic and create a different image. And the tips you have given is, we should be polite, we should not be very hustle. And if you want to develop probing skills, we should be thorough with the knowledge. Because when you ask question, doctor may also can ask question. And as you rightly mentioned, most of the pharma doctors, they respect those pharma executives who ask questions, because they also know only big company people, good company people who are well trained, they will be having dare to ask questions. So thank you very much for giving your insight. Many appreciation coming again. Mr. Biraj Pawar, who is the core team member in our LPC as a speaker also, he says that detailing is the basic masala in sales, right? And let us add communication tadka over to it and make it more tasty. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this kind word. Arumugam Arasan, who is again a core team member, says good detailing always is liked by doctor and we get more time inside the clinic. Arumugam again added that earlier, once upon a time, 95% of the training used to happen on detailing, but nowadays, some companies are not focusing on detailing during training program. They're only focusing on what is the scheme, what are the bonus offer, what is the thing we are going to service orientation. So yes, rightly Armugam said, detailing should be given utmost important during training so that the pharma professional can convert some doctors at least through his detailing and in-clinic communication. Now let us go to Mr. Nasiruddin Chisti and try to understand with him what is the importance of domain knowledge when it comes to in-clinic communication. And when domain knowledge is talked about, it is knowledge about the therapy, knowledge about what are the procedure doctor is doing, knowledge about what are the journals doctor is referring. So all these things, more and more you know about the domain knowledge, your in-clinic communication will be enhanced. Yes, Mr. Nasruddin, what is your opinion about domain knowledge?
Thank you, Yashwant sir. Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Yeah. So basically, we need to have give team timely training, and in a sense, not only the therapy but soft skill and the part what we have discussed on that also. And domain knowledge, why it is important, that we should be differ in the market. Like our colleagues, one call should be equivalent to 10 calls of competitor. What sense I am correlating it, that if the person or if the colleague is knowing his therapy well and the needs of doctor as per his specialty, like which are the conferences that doctor attends, which are the dates of those conferences, he should be updated with the dates and other things also, like which are the basic drugs he is using, which are the common tests he is doing on his daily practice, which are the website, which are the books he refers. So certainly these, if we make our team competent enough on these parameters also, apart from product detailing, so certainly his impact will be at much more productive, in a sense that our one call of our colleague will be equivalent to 10 call of competitors. So timely training is much more needed. And I have a very good story which my grandfather has told me, and which is very much relevant to in clinic effectiveness or listening and in clinic effectiveness. Since from our childhood, we have heard a lot of stories of Emperor Akbar and Birbal, in which a lot of morals and learnings were there. Like today, I am going to share one such a story, which is much more relevant to today's topic. One day, Akbar, one day, Akbar, Akbar was having, many wise people in his kingdom. So one of minister was very much jealous of Raja Birbal. Like he always complained that emperor gave importance only to Birbal and his suggestions, and all other ministers were ignored. He was having such kind of feeling, and Akbar wanted that minister to know how wise was Birbal. So at town, there was a marriage procession going on with songs and music. So Akbar got an idea that he should realize that minister why Birbal, I am giving preference to Birbal and why I am taking his suggestions. So Akbar asked his minister to go and find out from where the noise and music is coming. So minister goes and return to courtyard after knowing from where the noise is coming and the sound is coming. So he replies to Akbar that, "Oh Majesty, it's marriage procession at our town." Then Akbar asked him second question, which place the procession people have came from. So again, the minister again goes out and find out that they have come from Agra. So again, he probed one more question to his minister that find out what is the name of bride and groom. So minister comes with some time and he replies that Sham is the name of groom and Sita is the name of bride. Then Akbar, to sensitize that minister, he called Birbal and asked him to go and inquire about from where the sound is coming and the music is coming. So Birbal goes and he took some while time and he returns back and he replied to Akbar that, "Oh Majesty, it's marriage procession going at our town." Then immediately Akbar asked him second question, which place this procession people have came from. So Birbal was very clever and wise man, we all know. So he tells that the procession people have came from Agra. So again, Akbar asked him third question that what is the name of bride and groom. So Birbal replied that bride name is Sham and Sita, right? So even one more bonus question as King Akbar asked to his Birbal that on what gender he was riding, like groom was sitting on what gender of horse. So Birbal tells the gender also, like on mare, female horse, the gender was riding. This groom was riding. So while going to our field, we must be so much cautious that every time there are key performer indicators in our field. Well, we should have thorough knowledge with our retailing that which are the product which I need to target, what are the liking and disliking of doctors, am I confident enough and competent enough to detail product in that sense that it should create an effective communication between me and doctors. Sure, am I able competent enough to gain attention from the doctors end. So as an being manager also we should give timely trainings to our team also. During joint field work we get a lot of time. We identify many small mistakes on which we can solve it on that time also, on that same time also within next call those things can be rectified. So doing mock calls can improve, can build confidence of our team. Using of mirror and mock calls and using of certain hooks to doctors with, as Sudeep was telling, with some sort of questionnaires in which hook and attention we can get from doctor's end. So certainly these things and these small practices are going to results good impact in terms of results. So effective communication and the ways to find out. So we can correlate with this story also, that how Birbal had prepared himself. So we need to make Birbal sit within our teams so that they should, in terms of prescription, in terms of business, in terms of liking towards doctor, and they should be favorites of doctors. So that's from my end. And domain knowledge should be there because it is a backbone to making our team competent enough. So certain additional training should be there on domain knowledge. Thank you, Yashwant.
Thank you very much, Nasruddin. You have rightly talked about two important points of detailing. One is the domain knowledge, and second is the effective communication. When you are going for RCPA, going for some survey, going for some finding out the things, don't go only for one question or two questions. We should get the complete information. If your manager sends you to any X station or out station for finding the market potential, you should not do one or two things and come and again going and again. So what Nasruddin wants to talk about is go to a market and get complete information which are asked and which information are not asked, but that might be relevant in future. That is what is effective communication a smart person will do. Another important thing what Nasruddin has touched upon is domain knowledge. And what I want to add in that domain knowledge is, if someone is working in diabetology segment, he should know each and everything about diabetology. If someone is working in cardiology segment, you should know each and everything about cardiologist. What are the cardiologists doing? What are the procedure they do? What is CABG? What is PTCA? What is ECG? Like that. If someone is working in nephrology, he should know about what is nephrology, what a nephrologist do, what are the procedures he do, what is dialysis, what is erythropoietin, all the complete knowledge. What are the journals they refer? Which are the national international conference they attend? So this domain knowledge will give you confidence so that you can engage the healthcare professional with many more things apart from your product. And he will treat you as a knowledge partner, not the commercial partner. So thank you very much, Nasruddin. A very good aspect of detailing you have in clinic communication you have touched upon. Now my questions to the panelist, Mr. Manoj. You will agree with me that although detailing is the prime job of medical representative, but the managers, when they go for joint field work, they can also train their people on effective detailing. So according to you, what should be the manager's role in in-clinic communication? Mr. Manoj.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Manager is a very vital pillar of a company. As you know, he is a mediator between medical representative and company. So he has to play his role very effectively. He can add value whenever he is doing joint call with a medical representative in chamber. He has to add value in his call, because you might have seen medical representative do their call as a regular whatever call they used to do, like going and not detailing properly, just giving that LBL, keeping that LBL and just come back. Like postman call, it is always means most of the time medical representative does these calls. Now when manager goes, of course manager has to be thorough in, of course he has to be thorough in his detailing. Product knowledge should be more than his medical representative always, so that he can discuss whatever brands he have. In-depth knowledge he should have, so that he can discuss many, he can touch upon many things. Like I said, that medical terminology should be good, so that he can use in his communication, and doctor will listen that, because doctor will always like to listen the good things like medical terminologies and all the medical terms which it should be used in detailing. Then pre-call analysis is very important while doing joint field work. Means he has to communicate, means he has to discuss first that which firstly he has to do RCPA with the joint field work. What is the doctor's prescription habit? Through that we should know that which brand we are going to promote in chamber, what kind of input we are giving, what kind of input we have planned today to give, rather than just searching inside the doctor's chamber that what should I give, which sample I should give, or which LBL should I give, what inputs you have planned. It should be thoroughly discussed with medical representative before call. Then only they should enter in chain, and then call will be very effective. Of course, if medical representative is not able to handle situation, or not able to detail the products properly, then a manager should take that call in to him only, and he has to detail, so that 2 minutes should not get wasted, and the complete whatever we have decided, that should be planned and that should be executed well inside chamber. Then of course, what I said, that input should be given, what that should be discussed. That pre-call analysis is very important while doing joint field work, and of course then post-call analysis also we can do. That is also important. But as pre-call analysis will decide how you are going to behave in doctor's chamber, what kind of input you are giving, which brand you are going to discuss, and how much knowledge we are going to share with doctors. And of course, with RCPA, we will come to know what kind of products he prefer, his prescription habit, whether we are going with the right product to the doctor or not. That is also one thing we can come to know with RCPA. And so RCP is very important, as I said, because many a times medical representative go directly to the chamber without doing any RCPA. They don't know whether doctor has written my product in last 15 days or 7 days or not. They directly go and say, because they know that doctor is writing, so they go inside the chamber and they thank you doctor for writing this brand, and they came to and whatever they have to do they do and come back. So that is also means doctor any prescription, medical representative is saying that thank you doctor for giving prescriptions. So that is also very annoying, actually annoying things. The doctor knows that he is not ready his RCPA, and he is not means he will not give that importance to the medical professionals. He knows that he has not done his work actually properly. So that is very important. That should be every time you have to do RPA paperwork, and then
Okay, I think so. His voice is cracking in between. No issue. So good insight Mr. Manoj has given regarding various role a manager can play while during joint field work to increase the in-clinic communication, right? So
Sir.
he can coach him, he can train him. So I would like to go to Mr. Sudeep also. Sudeep, what is your role? You have been as a manager leading a team, different team. What should be the role, key ingredients of role of manager in joint field work?
Yeah, thank you, Jashwant sir, for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Manoj has narrated almost 70-80% level. I mean, almost all he has covered. One thing I want to just add that data, this is data. You know, data we should have what out of chemist survey and link up with the past calls, past visits, what doctor has told. We should not start the call as a new. So what the past calls we are having the experience and informations, I for informations, then we have to take the decision and then is action. Then what we are going to do. Mr. Manoj has already told that regarding this pre-call objectives is absolutely correct. We have to do the pre-call objective, but if we do on the basis of data, this data, information, decision and action and keeping the objective product, I think it will be more effective. So that is my things, and obviously the day plan has to be. We have to see. We have seen what is the call objective, and out of that, what is the first? What is the objective product also? Because as we all know, in the doctor's chamber, we'll get very less time, hardly 3 minutes generally. So the first 30 seconds, doctor's mind will be there for us. So in that 30 seconds, which product we want to get the prescription if we talk. So definitely it will have a more impact. And follow with the inputs and what is called this patch area, which area to which area they are going, area-wise planning, doctor's timing plan and input plan already Mr. Manoj also told. And what is the service, we are doing any service or not, that also we have to plan in previously. And obviously the bag arrangement. It has been said, sir, that if you fail to plan, you will plan to fail. So that is my addition apart from Mr. Manoj what he has told.
Thank you very much, Sudeep. And you have added one important point of data model of RCPA. Data, information, decision, and action. Very good way. Take the data from the chemist. According to that, interpret the data to find out the information. And based on the information, you decide about the doctor brand matrix. What brand is right for this doctor? And then you take action of in-clinic effectiveness. Wonderful tool for all the pharma professionals across. Thank you very much for that. And one more questions on joint field work is that there are some do's and don'ts. Okay, I would like to ask Mr. Nasiruddin Chisti, according to him, what are the do's and don'ts in in-clinic communication according to him? Yes, Mr. Nasiruddin.
Yes, sir. So there are whenever as in first line or as in second line, whenever we are doing joint field work, so our TM or our colleague expects some additional help or some benefit we should add to him. So like in those, we can ask him which are his challenging doctors, where we can, go and find out a solution, or we can, I can help you in converting that doctor particularly. We should, prior working 1 day prior, we should ask him to plan such mix call that we should achieve our daily call average also, and we should find out some annoyed or some doctors who are difficult for him to for convergence, so we can help in that sense. If any new study material had come from PMT, or if new material is received, if the person is not that much confident enough, so we should have much more preparation on that article or literature, and we should have demonstration. We should give live demonstration in doctor's chamber while promoting that LBL or that scientific material. And in those, one more thing, I feel that it is very much of importance that post field working, we should always try to have minute notes on our daily working so that we can correlate with last call. Not even doctors are important for us, but for us and for company, our TMs and his psyche is also important, that where he is lacking and where we can help him. So on that parameters we should do. And in terms of don't, when the flow is going much more good, if the TM is much more competent enough, and if he is discussing in a good way, in a good flow, so we shouldn't interrupt in between our TM's detailing. We should wait and watch, and whenever we find that if some point is missed, we should add that point and we should make it simple.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nasruddin. Very important point on do's and don'ts. We are getting a lot of feedback, appreciation, and comment on the topic. Mr. Arumugam Arasan says, I am very happy to be a part of LPC, and we are addressing some of the very simple and practical topics like in-clinic effectiveness. That is very much useful for the pharma professionals all across. Thank you very much, Arumugam. Rajat Shah says, according to Shiv Khera, detailing is not telling, detailing is asking question. So thank you very much, Rajat, for participating in appreciating our effort. Mr. Suleiman Maladar has also appreciated our effort, a good initiative and very practical aspect. Thank you very much, Mr. Suleiman. And one person whose name is written in Arabic, I cannot read the name, but he has asked a relevant question to the forum. I would like to ask, in today's scenario, current scenario, companies are using MR only for ROI as a salesman, but they are not using them as a medical representatives. So things are changed. They only use MR as a salesman, focusing on return on investment, only give and take business. So what is your opinion about this? That companies are treating MR only for selling as a salesman, not as a medical representative or scientific communication manager. Manoj sir, what is your thought on that?
Yes, it's of course what he's going to. What was the question actually? I missed.
Question is, currently, this person is not from India, maybe from UAE, but his question is very relevant because name is written in Arabic. I cannot read. But question
I think he mentioned Tariq. His name is Tariq.
Today, in current scenario, organizations are using medical representative as a salesman.
Salesman, yes.
Not as a scientific partner to the doctor.
Yes.
They're only focusing on ROI, return on investment, not focusing on their current actual
investment
job of sharing scientific information.
Definitely. That scenario has definitely changed. Companies are not focusing on people's training. That is more important. Nowadays it is means that focus has been changed. Gradually it has been shifted now, and companies are giving trainings and scientific knowledge to all the big companies are giving. Even mid-sized companies also focusing on their people's training now. not only scientific, but yes, practical approach, how to approach practically should that also training are now available with third parties, and that training also has been giving. But yes, it's very important to give scientific knowledge to your people, and most probably medical representative who is going 25 days in a field visiting doctors. So he should be well equipped with this scientific knowledge. That is the most important thing. And mm,
Thank
yes,
you.
that
Very
scenario will
rightly,
change. Yeah.
very rightly you said. My opinion is in our training it is said also, if you talk science, doctor will talk science. If you don't talk science, then he will talk commerce. And we cannot talk commerce with
Yes.
every doctor, right? Every company
Yes.
is having a limitation. If there are 100 doctors,
Yes.
cannot give service to each and every 100 doctors. Maybe some top 20 doctors, some scientific support can be given, some services can be given. So
Mhm.
point is, if you talk science, doctor will also talk science.
Talk
That
science.
is why it is time for let's talk science. Our pharma executives should be trained how to talk science, how to engage doctor through scientific communication, so that they will have create a different image, and with that they can build relationship, information based relationship, scientific relationship, which can bring business to the organization. That will be sustainable business. Commercial
Sustainable.
business is not sustainable. Today you give, tomorrow you don't give, you will not get. Today you give, you will get. But scientific relationship is long lasting,
Quite long
sustainable,
lasting.
and that is what companies should go ahead. So I hope this today's interaction was very excellent. Lot of information, a lot of interactive opinions we have got, and I thank each and every panelist and speaker for their valuable time and sharing insights. I would like to go to each one of you to share your views or closing remarks on the session. I also thank all the viewers for their very active role in today's particular session on sharing their insight, asking questions and opinion. So Purnima ma'am, how did you find today's session? Your
I think
closing
it
remark.
was, in a very short span of time, in fact, each speaker has touched upon a crucial point. So I would call it in and all a masterclass in clinic performance. So it's not only your knowledge that is crucial or important, it is how you approach your knowledge, your communication style. And of course, body language is that extra edge that gives you to make a special mark for yourself. So overall, it was fantastic. I mean, I really loved listening to each and every speaker. Manoji, how he touched upon different elements of in clinic performance, how Sudeep was very, very, sharp in his probing techniques and skills. What should the salesperson do there? Nasruddin ji shared a very fantastic story. Stories are a great way to drive point. So it's not about only information, it is also how you approach information. So there were a bunch of, knowledgeable people who had to go like 4 times, 5 times to get the same knowledge. And there was Birbal who smartly and wittily, just one trip and he got all that information and he got a bit more than what the others had failed to get. So again, approaching your work smartly, and above all, I think what all of us must do is approach our work with pride. कहीं ना कहीं काफी लोग इस चीज को या इस business, इस profession को, they don't look at it as something with pride. Come on, guys, you are doing a niche selling. You are in a very, very specialized segment. So you are not an ordinary salesperson. How you carry yourself with pride, how do you look at your work with pride, all that gets translated not only in your words, but also in your body language. And of course, because, I spoke on body language, there is more to what we have shared. We have just touched the tip of the iceberg. I'm sure Sudeep would have a lot to share if given an appropriate time and platform. And Manoji has a sea of information where he can, deep dive on each and every topic. So this was a fantastic session, and I also see a good feedback from the audience. Once again, just a gentle reminder, everybody, I request to please fill that survey form. It's going to be useful in giving directions to the future training programs. And also it will also help you identify your area, where, what is my good point and where I need to work more. So take it as a re-looking kind of a thing. And with this, I think we've had a fantastic session. So LPC has always been an enriching platform and an enriching Sunday. It's always a pleasure to come to you. And I know Yashwandi is all ready, heading to his next, assignment. So all the best to you, Yashwandi, and all the best to everybody who's watching us. Have a fantastic Sunday.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your kind words. Now I go to Manoj. Mr. Manoj, thank you very much. The first time you came to LPC. What is your closing remark for our viewers, Mr. Manoj?
Yes, thank you, Yashwanji. Actually, LPC, I have been associated in last just 3 or 4 months back only. I have visited 2 times in SIES also. You have been there and attended that program also physically. So it's wonderful. Actually, today we have touched upon very basic things, which we have covered all the basic things, which is required to be a good medical representative. Either it's body, because body language, as Purnima madam rightly said, whatever parameters madam has covered was very good of body language. Each and everything she has covered, that should that connect all. If we connect all these things like probing, then detailing, then body language or domain, all this, if you will connect all these things, you will get a good medical representative. If everything is there in that medical representative, he will be a best medical representative to represent our field. Thank you very much once again for giving this platform.
Thank you very much, Mr.
And,
Manoj. We look forward for your session in future also. I go to Sudeep now. Sudeep, thank you very much once again. Closing remarks, Sudeep.
Sudeep has dropped out, Yashwanji.
Okay. Nasuruddin. Your
Thank
closing
you.
remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Yashwant sir and the LPC team. Actually, what I feel, sir, a manager should take onus for improving the effective communication, because they are the one who are into direct touch point with field force. So they should be well aware of each team member, where they are lacking, which training needs are there, individual needs are there. So he should identify, and as a manager, he should train them, make them competent enough for making effective communication. So for example, if we cook rice and if we took a single rice to check whether the rice is cooked or not. So zonal manager should check area sales manager that anyone within his team is ripe, cooked or not. Like he should be competent enough, any team member. So on that parameter, it is continuous learning process and improving process for improving in clinic effectiveness. And today it was good day. All basic things we have discussed. And thank you for providing taking us on a LPC. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Nasuddin. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful session. I thank each and every viewer for interacting and participating today. And last but not least, thank you, Imagica Health, for their continuous support in live streaming the show. We look forward for your support in future also. Thank you very much, everyone. And we call it a day here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
everybody.
So should I?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So should I close this meeting with your permission,
Yes,
sir?
yes.